Welcome everybody to our short presentation about the Society of Science website. Let me introduce you to our aim, to our goal, what we want to achieve with this website. So the Society of Science is devoted to the exploration and research of pictography. Our expanding web archive showcases a diverse range of works centered around pictograms and language systems. We welcome artistic, graphic, or research-based projects that contribute valuable ideas to this discourse. So, where I start? First, a short introduction about me and Edgar. I started to dig into the topic of pictograms and especially historical pictograms in 2019 when I prepared my diploma thesis. And I discovered the work of the artist and graphic designer Wolfgang Schmidt, who developed his own pictographic system he called the Science of Life, the Lebenszeichen, which was a fully elaborated system to communicate emotions and to use it also for his work. So this type of proto-emoji from the 1970s was really interesting to me, and I prepared a whole exhibition about the topic. And this exhibition then led to a deeper research and exhibition project where I met Edgar and many others on the way.
Yeah, Maxim on his research found my Annex of Universal Language that was initiated by the fact that I released the typeface Logical in 2018. It was already mentioned by Daniel Utz. I included a lot of icons because I know how difficult it is to access them in programs like Word. And I made some icon fonts before for some clients. I wanted to include them with OpenType features, and I used a similar code that is used in Markdown, that's also used in Slack. Whenever you put a word in between two columns, it would be transferred into the icon. I also included a feature where you can activate it and it goes without the code, but with the code, it's a bit more. With the code, it's automatically. You don't have to activate the feature, but if you activate a language, it also translates every word that it recognizes. That led to Richard Neeson, who is running the Palace of Typographic Masonry in Amsterdam, a virtual castle of graphic design, where he invites designers to add a room. He asked me if I wanted to add a room about visual languages. And I decided to call it the Annex because library or archive just sounded too complete. And it was just like my books that I had already on the subject that I added to an existing shelf in the gallery space. We also made the poster called the Annex of Universal Languages, where we outlined 20 attempts of universal languages or visual languages. And then on the bottom right, you can see the emoji poster. It's called The Evolution of Emoji into a Language. I'm not claiming that emoji is a language, but I present again attempts and ask questions about those attempts of making emoji into a language by adding extras or like emojis, building a grammar. Yeah, that's from me. Yeah, I did participate also I gave my research for the annex to Maxim, and he then used also parts of it in the exhibition.
Yeah, let me jump into this exhibition. It was whole 2021 at the Leopold Hesch Museum in Düren, a smaller town next to Cologne, Germany. And the name we came up with for the exhibition was pictograms, signs of life, emojis, the society of science. And what we did in the concept was an exhibition in 3 chapters. So we really wanted to tackle the origin story of the modern pictogram with Gerd Arns, Marie Neurath, and then have a second phase where we introduced the pictograms of the 1970s, like from Wolfgang Schmidt, Otto Eicher, or Yukio Ota, where pictograms become this structure for airports, for navigation, but also they were used like emojis today in a more emotional and spiritual, artistic way. This is what Schmidt did on his behalf. So the 3rd chapter was then like a research for the current state, the open emoji research, where we invited several artists and designers like Edgar to contribute with the work. And yeah, when you go one slide ahead, we also introduced a design office to make make a work where you can participate and write a text, print it out, and this whole idea of interaction and participating was part of the exhibition. But on the other side, 2021, we had this pandemic, and we had 2 iterations of the show, one in Düren and one in Freiburg. But at least half of the time, the exhibition needed to be closed because of regulations. So we came up with the idea to make a kind of online exhibition where we introduce the audience to these 3 chapters, where we provide installation views, where we have a couple of works featured and try to make this research and the artworks accessible. So yeah, here you can see one installation shot from the opening and how we have shown several works. Sometimes we use the small descriptive text, and like for the Harun Farooqi work, which was very important to us, a small stop motion film about the possibly racist implication of statistics when they use pictograms to depict certain minority groups, and as well the section for publications, where we also featured the works of people we had in the show. And yeah, in January 2021, we also hosted a kind of lecture evening from 6 to 11 p.m., a quite long evening to also feature artists of the exhibition, like Julie Gudehus. We gave Anja Dorn, the director of the museum, and we gave an introduction. And the graphic designer talked, Eva Marie Offermann, about her concept. So we had a long evening of exchange and yeah, enjoyed that very much.
Okay, the energy at the opening that we went physically, at least the one in Düren, and at this lecture series was really good, and we really felt like we were part of a group and that this society of science could become a society. And to make that possible, I installed the German open source software called Nextcloud. It's a cloud solution that has video talk, has a chat, has archives, collaborative possibilities to work on documents. This illustration was also made in the Nextcloud software. And we had some meetings. We made some workshops where we tried to translate sentences into emoji strings and figure out what is actually missing, maybe leading to make applications to the Unicode consortium. But somehow this secret cloud didn't feel right. And Maxim and I kind of decided to, rather, when it started to die out, people would not attend the meetings, to rather have a public-facing website. That is an archive of those projects, that because the website we made for the exhibition had to be taken down after the exhibitions because the image rights of all the artworks was expiring. For the design of the website, we consulted again the Grupo Due, that was also making the installation with the big yellow hand. And they recommended us to use a typeface that's called Simplex. It's from Autodesk, from a 3D software, and it really fits the kind of the constructiveness and of lots of those image languages that are based on a grid. And they also didn't want us to use any italics or bold weights. So for being able to make hierarchies, I added small caps to the typeface. It was also helped by my intern, Romain Marc. And we also wanted to have all the icons or all the emojis we use on the website not to be colored, but also made in the typeface. But instead of making the whole set of emoji, which is huge, we just make them on the go. Whenever we make a new page and we need no icons, I'm just gonna add them. Some of the icons are not actually used on the website, but we need them. Here the mist is used as a compound together with the face without mouth to become the face behind the clouds that is used on the website. Yeah, maybe you talk about the logos, Maxim.
Yeah, we, in the end, when we had the website already in the beta stage, we wanted to also have a nice logo and came up with these ideas where people told us this looks like a conspiracy podcast. So we decided, okay, we need to be more clean and maybe get rid of this eye. So yeah, we used a kind of design language we borrowed from isotype. So this like three-headed body with a computer and a pen can probably represent the society much better than a crazy eye. And yeah, this also led to a t-shirt.
Yeah, and Loic is happy owner of one of the conspiracy t-shirts because he liked it so much. Yeah, to the website, you see that the assembly is also the homepage. So when you come in, you see the whole assembly. I'll explain in the following sheets, step by step. So that's when you enter the website. And we have these swirling icons coming in, another idea by Grupo Due, who recommended us to take icons from the Icon Archive, an open source website that collects all the icons that have been made as desktop icons back in the days when that was popular, to customize your desktop with icons. And every day there is another icon. They are rather random, but you can also control them. So yesterday we had the logo of the conference on the front page. We built in a search. You can also filter, because we hope to have a lot of those projects in the assembly. The text parts also come into the front page in the assembly, and you can search them by search bar or by clicking on tags. On Hover, icons become red. Sitel and Pona is one example of a nice constructed language, one of the most used constructed languages with a big followership on Reddit. And they even have people that made keyboards for it. So Sitel and Pona is the visual representation of Toki Pona, the language made by Sonja Lang. At the bottom of each page, we have an index card where we have the bullet points of each language, where we also say in the relevance why we think this is a relevant project. And often the information is provided directly by the makers. And that's also how we don't have issues with copyright. We have a link page with resources and links to projects that we haven't added yet, or that are not addable, or in the case of Bliss Symbolics, just extra links to other pages. Then here on the text page, we hope to have, long form texts by people that want to talk about symbol languages, icon languages. We have a little bombshell that was provided by Matt Stepton. I found him on Mastodon. He goes as the Gingerbeard Man, and he is researching illustrations and icons in Japanese software. And by ordering old organizers, he found complete emoji sets dating back to 1988, which is 11 years before the famous Docomo icons made by Shigetaku Kurita. Maxim, want to talk about the about?
Yeah, here on the about page, again, we have our aim. We make a short link to the exhibition and ask also the visitors to hand in new ideas, reach out to us. And on the next page, or disclaimer page, you also find the people that were involved, the icon archive, the web designer Edgar Walthert for sure, and also the support, the financial support through Deutscher Künstlerbund, which provided a funding for this project 2 years ago, which helped us to think long term and also invite people for these contributions and for the concept of a design.
So this is the state we have now. We have some more projects in the pipeline. We will also definitely reach out to some of you because the projects you presented were really interesting. We have actually also the Book of the Ground already finished, but we are waiting of an answer by Xu Bing if everything we wrote was right. But again, please reach out. Also, we definitely are not flawless. If there are mistakes or we are inaccurate, please let us know. We're happy to correct things, add things. And these are how you can get in touch with us. Go on the website. There are the links to Instagram and Mastodon right at the upper right corner. And the email is mail@societyofscience.com.